Though my father always taught me that it was bad manners to talk about money, and I won't go into any particular specifics. I will, I think it's time, what the heck, I'll answer it. I've got nothing to do but another long stretch and nothing to walk with, so if you're game, why don't you just share it with me. The route I've chosen today has turned out to be pretty boring. It's mostly industrial stuff. I chose to go from Fuji City to Canberra via the sea route, and it turns out it's just all industrial stuff and industrial parks and the like, so I'm just walking and rambling. What the heck? But anyway, my friend Demon Jack 123 has asked in the last video, or a couple of videos back, millionaires? Yes, you were millionaires, because I alluded to it, and I don't talk about it very much because, like I said, it's bad manners. But hey, it's that part of my life is said and done. I might make an interesting story to tell in the next little bit that I'm walking, and maybe a lesson of caution to those who could be wiser than me. Or not could be, I don't mean could in the terms of who could possibly be wiser than me, who have the opportunity to learn from my mistakes. Well, which few do, because we don't learn, people in general don't learn from other people's mistakes, we only learn from our own. It's a real genius who can possibly pull that off. That's well beyond me. Anyway, get on with the story, Kurt. Well, there's a woman up there, I'm going to be running catty corner with her. I don't want her to think I'm filming her. Let me run ahead, I'll pretend I'm a jogger. Jog with me here for a moment. So anyway, when we went to Santa Barbara, we after we got ourselves a place to live and an apartment and stuff like that, and a car, we were left with about $500, and I had a minimum wage job. One thing led to another, and I worked very hard then. Like I've said in past videos, I really work hard, and I take all my jobs seriously. I am nothing like this at work. I'm not this fun-loving guy at work. I am a very serious. People that have seen my videos that used to know me from work days in the States, they've run across my videos on this channel. They're like, "Who is that guy?" Because I'm not like this at all. Anyway, I ended up being the 20th employee in a startup, a technology company called software.com. This is all history, so that company doesn't even exist in that form anymore. So I can go ahead and say it. Brainchild of a genius man who went on to become a billionaire at one point. I believe he really did become a billionaire at one point, but may not be that anymore. Anyway, get to the point, Kurt. Anyway, I was the 20th employee, and it started this little basement, typical story basement company, startup in Santa Barbara, and we made email server software. That's a product called Post.office. That's Post.office, an email server that basically handles email, and that company grew. This was the start of the .com era. That company grew, and I was given stock options, which I didn't even blink at when they offered me the job. I was just glad to get the job, and they said, and by the way, here's this stock package. Are you happy? Is that okay? I mean, yeah, okay, whatever. Anyway, the company wasn't public yet, and a long way. I mean, we were just dreaming of being public, and it wasn't even a dream practically. None of us thought it would happen, and it was valued at $1 a share. Well, a couple of years later, we had grown from 20 to we were like, going into like 400 or 500. We grew up. The company at its peak got around 2,000 people, and we were up to a couple hundred people by then. We'd moved offices several times. I mean, this was the classic .com scenario. I mean, Fridays in the balcony on Santa Barbara. We had this beautiful street overlooking the balcony in Santa Barbara. And we were a good company. We had a good product. It's still out there. A large percentage of the world's email runs on the products that we made, as well as DNS software in this phone right here. A lot of the stuff that's done for Docomo and all these companies. I mean, it's a good, legitimate company. So anyway, we were doing really well. We'd have parties all the time, and the classic thing with the refrigerators full of stuff. And we even had, at one point, we had a Starbucks. We had our own Starbucks in the company. It was free. It was a Starbucks of our own. You just walk up and order a mocha grande, and they just walk away. And the woman that worked there, she made a lot on tips because we were all rich by that point. and we would have to pay for this stuff. We'd just give her the money in the tip jar. So she did well. So anyway, it grew and gone on. And by the time it was all done, the stock had gone from, we had gone public, and the stock had gone from $1 asking price to $208 a share. That's when we had reached the limit. And so on paper, I was a millionaire. Yeah, woo-hoo, yeah, woo-hoo, paper millionaire. Wow, wow, wow. But what I learned quickly was that easy come, easy go. Back in that time when, as the share was growing, as the stock price was gaining, this was the dot-com bubble, right? As it was gaining, and I was watching fluctuations, where one day I'd wake up in the morning, and by evening I'd be $50,000 richer, or me go to sleep that night and $40,000 poorer, as this. He was doing this kind of thing. After a couple of years of that, you kind of get numb to this kind of thing. So I wouldn't bat an eye at a $60,000 day, or a drop $60,000 in a day. And that's that coupled with the fact that I didn't really earn the money myself. I mean, I did in a way. I mean, I helped. I took a gamble in the company and joining it, and it's a risky venture, but it wasn't through my own efforts and the like. So I was careless. I was stupid. I was a moron with the money, and I let it ride. As I should have known better. Let's get off of here and get across the street here. I let it ride, as they say. And if I had just seen an accountant, as so many of my contemporaries did not, very few of us did. Very, very, very few of us pulled out of that with our fortunes intact. The only one that I really know that did it was the smartest one amongst us. The chairman of the board who was brought in. I won't name any names because he really came out well. He earned it. I mean, he earned it. He was smart. He knew. He knew. He pulled out it right. And I'm not saying like it was anything illegal. He was just in terms of money and business. He's a rock star. I should have followed his lead. But I didn't. I was lazy. I was arrogant. I believed that I was done. That I would never have to work a day that if I didn't want to again in my life, and that everything was charmed. I mean, you see your fortunes go up. Everybody's living the life of the rock stars. We're traveling. I still have my job. Who wouldn't want that job? I could do anything I want. I could travel. I was traveling for the company. I was traveling on these expense accounts that were just beyond belief. Staying in great hotels. Eating really, really well. The company, we had these menus of all even at night at work. If you wanted to stay a little bit late, you had menus for all the fine restaurants in the city, and you just pick a menu. Oh, okay, I'm going to have something from this French restaurant, and they deliver it. It didn't cost a thing. We had masseuses that came. Give us all a massage. One time we had this contest. We were trying to get more people to join the company because we were growing so fast. And like I said, we went from 20 to 2,000 employees in the space of a couple of years. So the company had this contest where they were going to say, whoever can recruit the most people into the company is going to get a brand new Porsche. And so, a brand new Porsche 911. That was the thing. So, if you could, call up your buddies and, hey, John, you want a job at software.com? Well, by then we'd become OpenWave Systems. And OpenWave still exists. In fact, it's still publicly traded company. Very good company. Some of my friends still work there. And I can kind of look back and say, hey, I was one of the originals. One of the original idiots. And so anyway, so actually someone won a Porsche. We gave him a Porsche. And, I could just go on and on, the perks, the benefits. And my wife and I, now we look back and now we see it. We see, how this system works and how these things work, and we can spot it when it's happening now. I learned my lesson. So anyway, long story short, I let the money ride, and went up to $208 a share, dropped back down to earth. I don't know. I think it's trading like a 3 or 5 or something like that now. And I think that's after a reverse split or two. Yeah, reality sucks, don't it? So that coupled with some really, really bad mistakes. I was so lazy. I was so lazy with the money. I would take and I would say, Nortel's been doing really well. I'll just drop 100,000 in Nortel and let it ride for a couple of days and see what happens. $60,000 in the can later, I pull out and I just lost $60,000. The good news is, every year when I do my taxes, I get an awesome capital gains loss, exemption. It's just this huge amount of money that I lost that chunks into my. I don't know exactly how it works. It's all worked out. I had accountants figure it all out, and it's all I brought in the accountants at the end. when things were ruined. Oh, I'm at 9:29. I got to finish this video now. I brought in accountants in the end. I learned my lesson. I'm not a millionaire anymore. I have an income. I've got savings. I'm okay. I've got an investment income coming in. I'm going to be okay when we get back to the States. We're not going to be struggling or anything like that. But, you know, I learned my lesson. I'm not rich anymore, and I'm better off for it. That for another video sometime. Thanks for joining me, guys, as I wind down these last seconds to 10 minutes. Bye-bye. Peace.